What is up, guys? It's me, the AOLE Double X Prince. What the hell? I just got a message that my battery is running low, even though it's pretty full from what I've seen. This thing could be kind of stupid, but it's better than the last computer. I'll just give you that. Uh, I'm actually kind of shocked that no one gave a fuck about my Raw review. I mean, no one really gave a crap about me talking about Monday Night Raw and how awful that show was. Maybe people are realizing that they want to hear some positive things, and sure enough, it's time to talk about something positive: the Wednesday Night Wars. And in typical Wednesday Night Wars fashion, I remember I used to do this with NXT and Lucha Underground. We don't have to worry about Lucha Underground for a while or ever. But I used to carry this belt with me, the big gold belt. Hope you guys can still see it. Who is the real champion tonight? We'll kick it off with NXT simply because they've been around for a while, and they've decided to, kind of start this 2 hour phenomenon. And the first episode was good. Last week was kind of boring. I really didn't care for it. And this one was pretty good. And I'm pretty sure they brought in their A game because, I mean, first of all, the full 2 hours are going to be on the show. And also, AEW is debuting Dynamite tonight. But I just want to say that I'm very happy that both shows did not try to compete against each other. They were just doing their own thing, and they were telling the best story. Something that both shows lacked was the character development. I think NXT did that a little bit better. Um, I don't know. I'll see more as I talk about the show as it goes on. But I think that one did it a little bit better simply for the fact that they uh they mainly did better character development for the most part. But as far as I mean, I'll talk about AEW later, but I'll talk about some stuff and basically what's up with the show. NXT, great fucking show. They had to bring in their A game. That we start off pretty strong with the NXT Championship match. Adam Cole, baby, beats Matt Riddle. Yeah, that happens. He beats Matt Riddle. It's a really good match, good back and forth. Definitely dig it. This could have easily been a takeover match if they wanted to, but for a TV match, for the TV title match, this was really, really fucking good, and it was a great way to kick off the crowd, get the fans excited. It was a really good match. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Yeah, definitely a must see. Then the match ends with Finn Balor returning. Yes, he is leaving the main roster to go back to NXT, which I think is the right call. I really hope that this doesn't become a thing where they bring back everybody that everybody down, because like think about it. Finn Balor is the first Universal Champion. That says a lot. I'm not saying that NXT is the downgrade, but I mean compared to like the main roster, you know, I feel like they're starting to realize that the main roster isn't for everybody. Because let's think about it. Um, was freaking um let's say EC3 never left NXT. I think he would have been fine. I mean, who would have cared? Yeah, honestly, there's some people that are not meant for the roster. Hell, some people are not even meant for NXT. I look at guys like Joe Styles, Bobby Roode to an extent. I don't see those guys as NXT guys. I see those guys as full-fledged guys that should have been on the roster. To an extent, Aleister Black, but I understand why they kept them in NXT. Like, I feel like that should be more for. I mean, I'm glad that they have their Adam Coles, their Ricochets, and their Cesaros. But actually, matter of fact, Cesaro should come back down here too. But yeah, I'm digging. I'm definitely excited. Adam Cole versus Finn Balor. That sounds like a fucking match made in heaven itself. Io Shirai beats Mia Kim. Very good match. Honestly, one of the better women's matches in NXT for a while. I like that they're having multiple women's storylines, not just the title one. They're having multiple. That way, you could expand and the roster feels bigger. And I kind of wish that Raw and SmackDown did this a little bit more. They did do this in 2016, where they had the title match and they had other little side feuds. Like I remember the main feud was Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch on SmackDown. Then they also had Nikki Bella and Natalia. Then they also had Naomi and Carmella, I believe it was. But the point is, they had multiple women's feuds, not just focus on one. Um, so that was good. Shane Throne, I have no idea who the hell this guy is, but he gets beat by Johnny Gargano, and I felt like this match. While I enjoyed the match, it was a really good comeback for Johnny Gargano. I personally wish that this match itself had a story into it, in the sense that like something happened after the match, not just Johnny Gargano wins. I felt like something should have happened. Maybe Roderick Strong's beats the shit out of Johnny Gargano or something, basically showing that the Undisputed Era is gonna be their NXT. They're gonna be the ones taking over NXT, which would make sense, but I guess they didn't do that. Shayna Baszler beats Candice LeRae. I was not shocked. I think they want to do with Shayna Baszler is what they probably should have done in the first place, is that is break the Asuka streak, because let's be real, Asuka ain't doing it, and Shayna Baszler is clearly a woman that they want around, and plus she's best friends with Ronda Rousey, so you gotta help them out. So Shayna Baszler is finally not being a pussy and like having two bitches on her side. She's actually kicking ass like on her own. I'm glad that we're back to this Shayna Baszler where she doesn't focus on the quality of the matches, and that's what makes the matches even better. Like I think she needs to fight underdogs. Like Candice LeRae came off as an underdog. Mia Kim came off as a jobber. Luckily that they are doing better with her now that she's feuding with Io Shirai. Um, Also, before I get started, we have two title matches, a third one happening in the main event. But I remember when they had the first TV taping, Velveteen Dream and Pete Dunne fought for the North American Championship, which led to Roderick Strong. I'm happy that they're putting the belts on the line every once in a while. I don't want this to be a trend. I don't want this to be freaking every night one of the belts are on the line, because I believe next week Leo Rush and Drew Gulak are fighting for the Cruiserweight Championship, and I personally don't want that. I just want uh, more storyline development. I felt like both shows could use a GM like a persona. I feel like for NXT, you know who I would give him? I would give him Shawn Michaels. He would carry the show, make it edgier, make it fun. I'm not saying that NXT is not fun. I think that they could use a character like that. William Regal's not really doing it. I forgot he was even the GM. I'm being honest. I would take off NXT UK and 205 Live. Hell, I wouldn't even call it NXT. I would call it something else. Like, I felt like if NXT is gonna branch out, it should be NXT something. That should be like the main goal. NXT something, like I don't know, NXT uh Wednesday night or Wednesday night NXT something. They could use a different name, kind of like Raw and SmackDown, or freaking I don't know, but I don't know. I think NXT could have used a different name now. Not a different name exactly, but like a title, like remember TNA Impact eventually became Impact Wrestling. But you gotta guys get the gist of what I'm talking about. But anyways, great match from Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae, the best Shayna Baszler match in a while. Pete Dunne defeated Danny Burch. I did not care. I think at the end of the match, uh, Pete Dunne gets his ass kicked. I thought it was Aleister Black. It turns out it's not. It's somebody else. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention at this point. I think at this point I was just kind of tired of like. I feel like characters should be developed as characters, not as wrestlers. Like this guy could do this flip, and this guy could body slam people. Like I feel like there should be more to that, and I'll get to that more when I get to talk about AEW, and you'll see what I'm gonna be talking about. Undisputed Era beat the Street Profits in the main event. Great match. Eventually, it ends with obviously Roderick Strong helped them, but who cares, because all the Undisputed Era are champions. And all of them are holding gold. And then we have Tommaso Ciampa returning to NXT. Have a stare down with Adam Cole, baby. I think they're gonna either do Adam Cole versus Ciampa. Uh, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. I personally would do. This is personally what I would have done. I would have done DIY versus the Undisputed Era for the tag belts. Uh, Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream because he's got to have a rematch, maybe a ladder match or a 2 out of 3 falls match, something at the next big event. And then I would do freaking Adam Cole versus Finn Balor. That is a fucking card. Those 3 matches alone sound like a badass card. Shayna Baszler maybe fights Io Shirai or Mia Kim or maybe a triple threat. I don't know what they could do with the women's, but I'm more excited. They're definitely picking up. I like I said, I want more backstage segments. I want more character development, and I want more like edginess. Every once in a while, it'd be okay to you know have like excitement to it. But then again, it's NXT. It definitely did something that the main roster doesn't do, which is great. But I definitely want to see them talk more about characters because let's be real, no one's really been watching NXT since who the fuck knows. Like hell, some people just watch the takeovers and they watch the video packages just to keep catch up with everything. I know I do that, but I really want NXT to feel like a TV show, not just a wrestling show. You know what I'm saying? I think AEW did that better, and that's the way I'm gonna do it. This definitely felt more like a TV show than NXT did. And AEW Dynamite did its debut. It was a great show, definitely a great way to kick off the show. Um, like I said, NXT. Well, it was a great wrestling show. Let's go back to the very first episode of Monday Night Raw. What was the highlight of that show? What's the first thing that comes in your mind when you hear very first episode of Monday Night Raw? That's right, Bobby the Brain Heenan trying to sneak in. Something like that should have happened, and I didn't think I get that with both shows. I felt like for the most part, I just got a legit. I just got like a couple of matches, maybe a couple of segments, but nothing to the extent. Um, and I felt like they dropped the ball with 2 guys. Believe it or not, they're not wrestlers, but they're definitely going to be a big part of this show or a big talk. Cody defeated Sammy Guevara. I think, from what I hear, he was in Lucha Underground, and I'm a massive fan of Lucha Underground. Probably my favorite show to watch in 2015. But I don't remember seeing this guy. Maybe season 4, which I hardly paid attention to, because let's be real, they lost everybody. So what the fuck was the point of keeping Lucha Underground around? Cody defeated Sam Guevara. Good match. Uh, I like that they had like a little video package in the beginning, kind of showing both men. But if Cody loses any match before November 9th, which is the next pay per view, I believe, he's going to lose his number one contendership. And I think this is a great way to develop Sammy Guevara, and hopefully in the future he gets like a mid card belt. I think they're gonna work their way to a mid card belt sometime down the road. I don't know when, but it might happen pretty soon. I like how at the end of the match, Chris Jericho beats the shit out of Cody Rhodes. I like how they didn't interfere in the match. I like that they kind of waited till the end. Yeah, Chris Jericho beats the shit out of both of them, so that was great. Um, Character development. I keep talking about character development. The only person who did good character development was MJF. I have no clue who the fuck this guy was. I saw him, I believe, in All In, but I didn't pay attention to who he was. But now I'm excited because he cuts a promo in the beginning of the match, basically talking about if you're homeless, you have no idea who the only homeless people know who the hell this guy is, Brandon Color. Because I don't even know who the fuck this is. He's just a jobber. He's just a schmuck. That's the honest truth. And MJF put him over in that kind of way. And that was brilliant of MJF just kind of cutting promo. And we kind of show what kind of person he is. He's basically a smaller version of EC3. Um, Now that I think about it, AEW, the set, everything kind of looks like Impact Wrestling. I don't even know if they're still on the air. Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to any wrestling. The only ones I watch are WWE and AEW. Yeah, I haven't watched ROH in fucking months. I haven't watched any of TNA other than Slammiversary. Hell, fucking WWE bought John Morrison, and hell, they might even buy CM Punk. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, they're definitely doing picking shit up. I'm very excited for both everything in wrestling right now. But MJF basically he squashes him. Uh, Kind of a pointless thing to do. Uh, then we get the something party is basically like they look like the street profits. Not to be racist or anything. Basically, these guys defend uh Jay and Silent Bob, aka Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. They defend those guys from Angelico and Jack Evans. I kind of would have preferred Jane Silent Bob to actually be like on the ring talking. Hopefully, I really wish that they gave him a script. I could tell these guys are not like massive like modern day wrestling fans. I clearly they know who Jericho is. If they fucking brought up The Rock or Steve Austin, they would have been goners. But yeah, they basically they're promoting the Jane Silent Bob reboot, which I will watch. There's no way I'm not gonna watch that shit. Uh, I love Clerks, one of my favorite movies of all time, and I definitely like Mallrats more than anybody. Chasing Amy was a good one. I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith's work, basically, and I was glad to see these guys. I kind of wish they did more with them, honestly. And it's nice to get celebrities. I believe NXT had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. I was like, who the fuck cares? I see Kevin Nash and Scott Hall show up every Raw reunion, every Raw 25th anniversary. Who the fuck cares? Who the hell expected to see Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes at AEW? Like, I'm pretty sure AEW could use some celebrities to help hook him up. Same with WWE, they could use some celebrities. No, LeVar Ball, don't fucking do that. Nobody wants a lawsuit. I'm pretty sure nobody wants a lawsuit. But yeah, it would be nice to use some celebrities every once in a while. Like they had Stephen Amell, they've had Jane Silent Bob. Who the hell are they gonna get next? I'm definitely excited for that. Pac defeated Hangman Page in the next match. Great match. Definitely not as good as their very first one when they fought for the Rev Pro Championship. And I'm finally glad that Pac is stopped being an asshole for once. Like he's actually putting in effort. Not saying that he never did. It's just that he keeps bitching if he doesn't win. Now they're doing a story on it. It kind of worked to their advantage. I would say Hangman Page losing a Pac by cheating. The referee almost gets hit. The referee's not looking, so Pac low blows him or kicks him in the nuts. Then he does the red arrow, and then he does his submission move. I keep forgetting the name of that move. Basically, Hangman Page loses. So that was definitely a great match. Probably the match of the night, honestly. Somewhere in the show they had SoCal Uncensored basically hyping themselves up like a US election. That was a brilliant way to hype up who are SoCal Uncensored. That is character development. It's good for AEW to do this because they have a smaller audience. Let's be real, who the hell are the popular guys in AEW? Cody, the Young Bucks, that's two of them. Omega, Hangman Page, Pac to an extent, Chris Jericho, obviously, um, John Moxley, and I'm trying to think of some. Those are, and of course, Jake Hanger, who we'll get to at the end of this show. Um, Maybe Dustin Rhodes, but basically, they are lacking stars. I'm not saying that they don't have stars, but they don't have the mega names. Like obviously, like I said, they don't have a Jericho. They have a Jericho, but they could use. They need to develop more guys like to be the next Chris Jericho or the next Shawn Michaels, the next Triple H, some shit like that. And I'm glad that they at least tried with these guys. And they also what they did was that they had freaking uh the Lucha Bros come out. They basically call them out, basically hyping up their next match. So I'm excited for Lucha Bros versus SoCal Uncensored. That is how you hype up match. I personally think that was brilliant of them, and yeah, that was a very good segment. Solid little segment. Great way to develop your characters. Riho defeated Nyla Rose to become the first ever AEW Women's Champion. I personally thought that this match was gonna. I personally thought that this match was gonna end in no contest, and then we do the blow off at freaking at freaking the paper. I keep forgetting the name. Gear Up, I think it's called, but I thought that was gonna be the blow off match because it would be weird to like have it on a TV show the first ever AEW Women's Champion, but I'm okay with it. I'm not Vince Russo. I don't want you guys to assume I'm Vince Russo. But this next thing I'm gonna say might make you think I'm thinking like Vince Russo. Currently, freaking Nyla Rose got in trouble for a pedophile joke I believe she made, which is not cool. But what if they used it? I'm not saying that that's a great thing to use, but maybe turn into a heel. Maybe turn it into a bitchy a bitchy heel. I think they're doing that because hell, for those of you who do not know, Nyla Rose is a transgender, so she could use that as an advantage of like being stronger than most women in the roster. That could be great. And I think they kind of told that story here. I'm not saying they did, but Rio like pinning her, that was pretty great of them. Um, so yeah, I think Rio winning the women's championship wasn't bad. I actually wouldn't have mind either women winning, but obviously due to Nyla Rose's comments, I believe that's why she lost. That I will agree with. That should have been inevitable. No pun intended, Thanos. But yeah, and it was a good match. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a horrible match, but the question now is what the hell are they gonna do next? Are they gonna do a rematch? Or are they gonna do a number one? Um, I would personally do a number one contenders match in the upcoming weeks or something. I don't know. Uh, that's the thing. I never once thought of like, oh, they should have booked this, they should have booked that. I mean, I kind of did in a way. Maybe I wanted more of certain things, but that's great. If I want more, then I'm definitely invested. Um, and I think that's what both shows did. But then I believe the last match is next. Yes, LAX and Chris Jericho beat the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. This was a very good way to end the show. The way it ended on. Basically, it was a 3-on-3. LAX, Jericho, Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega, the Elite. Um, in the match, John Moxley comes in, hyping up their match, and they beat the shit out of each other, fighting the crowd. Kenny Omega and John Moxley fighting the crowd, and then John Moxley does like he throws him through a glass table that's like it looked like a VIP lounge or some shit like that. But basically, that's what happened. Um, which was fucking insane because even John Moxley took a bump due to that fact. And instead of calling the match off, what they did was they kept the match going. They had Young Bucks versus LAX and Chris Jericho. They said, fuck it, let's finish it off. We might lose, but fuck it, let's finish the match. And they lost. And the heels get beat up. Then two guys, I have no clue who the hell these guys are. These like two. They basically reminded me of the Singh brothers or the Bollywood boys, if you guys know them better like that. They reminded me of those guys. They basically all five of them beat the crap out of the Young Bucks. Then Cody and Dustin come in to interfere or to like save the Young Bucks, but then they get their ass kicked. And then Jake Mag Marger, where the fuck his name was. I don't know. It'll take me a while. I knew him as Jake Strong from Lucha Underground, or more notably, he was remembered for holding this belt. Anybody remember when this certain wrestler was holding this belt? Oh yeah, you might know him as the All American Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger, he's back. I personally would have used Void Barrett. It would have made more sense. But uh, honestly, yeah, I personally would have done Jack Swagger be his own guy. I don't think he needs Jericho because he's a powerhouse. He's an MMA wrestler. So I would have used him on his own. A guy that they could have used was Wade Barrett. Imagine that. NXT rookie, WWE pro, reuniting. That would be pretty fucking cool. If you ask me, they basically blew off the opportunity, but I think Wade Barrett's up to doing other things on his own. I don't think he needs AEW. For all I know, he's happy where he is. For all I know, he probably retired wrestling. But yeah, Jack Swagger. I'm gonna call him that for now. Jake Hager. Yeah, he comes out and beats the shit out of everybody, and then all the heels stand tall. Great way to close off the show. But um, I'm not, here's something that you guys are gonna hate hearing from me, but I think both shows could use some promos in between. I like what they did in the beginning where Cody and Sammy are having their little promo in the beginning. But it wasn't like your typical promo. It was just like it kind of came off as a video package, but as a promo. I would like those. Just the way to develop. Hell, I forgot that the Velveteen Dream had an NXT promo. Fuck, that is how like irrelevant those promos were. Like I don't know. I want definitely segments to be a big part of the both shows, but I guess we live in an era where those aren't necessary. I don't know what the hell is the big trend, but you definitely want to spice it up. This is a great first try for both of them. Honestly, both of them did a fantastic job. As far as better wrestling, NXT takes the ball with that. They definitely had some good matches, AEW Dynamite, but I think better TV wise, I would have to give that to AEW. So, which one do you prefer? Better TV, um, better TV, or would you rather have better um matches, better wrestling? Uh, so that is a hard one. They both did a fucking fantastic job at giving you two mega shows. The question is, which one left you on a cliffhanger? I mean, I'm excited for Jake Hager to see what else he does next, but Tommaso Ciampa is fucking back. So, personally, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this because they're just gonna call me a mark. Hell, either choice, I'm gonna be called a mark, but I'm giving the point to NXT. I think NXT wins this route. I definitely want them to change. I don't want them to put the belt. I don't want each week to be a belt match. I want each week to change up the formula just a little bit. Um, AEW definitely. I'm more excited for them TV wise, but as far as wrestling wise, I think NXT is gonna take it. But that segment alone with Tommaso Ciampa, I think was the nail in the coffin. Um, I thought John Moxley and Kenny Omega, if that little segment, which was fantastic, no doubt about it, if it had blood, it would have definitely been the ice on the cake. Um, let's see. Fuck. NXT opened and ended strong. AEW, I think, was a better overall show. I don't want to change my mind. I'll go with NXT simply for the fact of that ending shot of Ciampa and Adam Cole. And the fact that Finn Balor's back, people. And, so I'll give NXT the point this week. Maybe next week AEW gets a point. I don't fucking know, but that's my decision. That's what I'm sticking with. I'm definitely gonna give AEW the point. Anyways, that's it for me. It's me, the ALE Double X Prince. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until then, I'm out.